Most relationships don't work out. And if you go into a relationship thinking it's going to last forever, I don't think it will be as fulfilling of a relationship if you go into one understanding that there's a very high chance it will not last. Just hear me out before you get all frazzled, all right? Let's say I go on a vacation. Let's say I go to France. When I go to France, knowing that I am not going to be in France forever and that the vacation will end doesn't ruin the experience any less. If anything, it makes the experience more enjoyable because I know that I can't take this for granted. It's going to end at some point. I think it's the same thing with relationships. I think if you go into a relationship honestly thinking that it's going to last the rest of your life, that's not a good way to go about it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't shoot for that per se. I think when you go into a relationship, you should shoot for, if you really like the person, hey, I'm going to try to make this last my whole life. But you should also be realistic and tell yourself it probably won't last my whole life. And let's say even if it does last my whole life, somebody's going to end up dying. So you're just going to be an old person with memories and advice to younger people. Like, that's all you are. The whole point of dating is to see if you two are like the 0.1% that lasts and that actually enjoys being together. Not just stuck in a marriage because you have to be or because it's less complicated, but actually in a marriage because you want to be in a marriage and you really do like that person just as a human being. But to think that you're going to find that, I don't know. I think that's kind of setting yourself up for failure per se, because it's not realistic. Like, it's not a logical thing if you sit down and really talk about it and just say it out loud. Like, out of the billions of people in the world, like, this person's perfect for you. That's kind of hard to believe. Again, I'm not saying don't shoot for that. You should try your hardest to make it work. And also, you should enjoy the moment. I think the main upside of understanding that the relationship has a high probability of not working is not taking it for granted. Like, you understand this probably won't last forever, so let me really enjoy the moments and just ride them out. Enjoy the person while things are still good. But to go into a relationship and honestly think you're never going to date anybody else, it's really going to blindside you when you end up breaking up. It's not going to be helpful in the long term. Let's say even if you last 30 years. 30 years go by, your wife ends up filing for divorce, and you're just a middle-aged dude that's depressed and was blindsided. Like, you didn't even see it coming because you weren't realistic with your goals and expectations.